Welcome to Miss Scarlett. Subscribe and don't miss out on Patreon. Have fun! The afternoon heat blazed through the window, painting the living room in a golden hue. John sat restlessly on the velvet chair, its rich texture contrasting with his own inner turbulence. He squirmed, focusing his anxious gaze on his fingers as they fiddled with the well-worn fabric of his shirt. Across from him, Aunt Margaret's serene presence filled the space. Her eyes, wise and compassionate, offered a silent reassurance. John's heart raced as he summoned the courage to speak. "I've been wrestling with thoughts," he started, his voice barely audible. "Trying to understand myself, who I truly am." "I think I might want to explore being more feminine." Margaret leaned forward, placing a reassuring hand on John's knee. "Oh, sweetheart, I'm so proud of you for sharing this with me. Tell me more about what you're feeling." John's shoulders relaxed slightly as he continued. "It's like there's this whole other side of myself I've never allowed to exist. When I see women in beautiful dresses or makeup, I feel this longing, not to be with them, but to be like them. Does that make sense?" "It makes perfect sense, John." Margaret smiled warmly. "Gender identity is a deeply personal journey. There's no right or wrong way to explore it. What matters is that you feel safe and supported." "I do with you," John admitted. "I was hoping maybe you could help me? I don't even know where to start." Margaret's eyes lit up. "Of course I'll help you, dear. As it happens, we have that family beach gathering coming up next weekend. Would you like to try presenting more femininely for that?" John's heart raced with a mixture of excitement and apprehension. "Really? You think that would be okay?" "Absolutely," Margaret assured him. "It's a casual event, and our family is quite open-minded. This could be a perfect opportunity for you to dip your toes in, so to speak." John nodded, a small smile tugging at his lips. "Okay. Yeah, I'd like that, but I don't have any clothes or anything." "Leave that to me." Margaret winked. "We'll go shopping tomorrow. For now, why don't we start with a name? Is there one you've been considering?" John's brown hair fell across his forehead as he looked down, considering. "I've always liked the name Lily. It feels soft, delicate." "Lily," Margaret repeated, her voice warm. "It's beautiful. Shall we use that name and feminine pronouns while we're shopping and getting you ready?" John, now Lily, nodded, feeling a wave of emotion wash over her. "Yes, please. Thank you, Aunt Margaret, for everything." The next day, Margaret picked Lily up early, ready for their shopping adventure. Lily felt a mix of nervousness and excitement as they entered the first boutique. "Now, for a beach gathering, we want something flowy and comfortable," Margaret explained as they browsed the racks. "How about we start with a maxi dress?" Lily ran her fingers over the soft fabrics, marveling at the variety of colors and patterns. "They're all so pretty. How do I choose?" Margaret held up a coral-colored maxi dress with delicate floral embroidery. "This would look stunning with your brown hair and complexion. Why don't you try it on?" Lily took the dress, her hands trembling slightly as she made her way to the fitting room. She slipped out of her jeans and t-shirt, carefully stepping into the dress. As she pulled it up and adjusted the straps, she caught a glimpse of herself in the mirror. The coral fabric draped beautifully, accentuating curves she hadn't realized she had. "How does it look, dear?" Margaret called from outside. Lily opened the door, her cheeks flushed. I love it," she whispered. Margaret's eyes welled up with happy tears. "Oh, Lily, You look absolutely radiant. How does it feel? It feels right, Lily admitted, twirling slightly to feel the fabric swish around her legs. Like I'm finally seeing the real me. They purchased the dress, along with a few other feminine clothing items and accessories. Their next stop was a shoe store, where Margaret helped Lily select a pair of comfortable wedge sandals that complemented the dress perfectly. As they drove home, Lily clutched her shopping bags, feeling a mix of excitement and trepidation. Aunt Margaret, can you teach me how to walk in these shoes? And maybe how to sit in a dress? Margaret patted Lily's hand affectionately. Of course, sweetheart. We'll practice everything you need to feel confident and comfortable. Over the next few days, Margaret patiently guided Lily through the basics of feminine presentation. They practiced walking in the wedge sandals, focusing on smaller steps and a gentle sway of the hips. Margaret showed Lily how to sit gracefully in a dress, keeping her knees together and ankles crossed. Remember, Lily, Margaret advised, femininity isn't about rigid rules. It's about embracing your own unique expression of womanhood. The most important thing is that you feel comfortable and authentic. Lily nodded, absorbing every bit of wisdom her aunt shared. They practiced applying light, natural-looking makeup, enhancing Lily's features without overwhelming them. Margaret showed her how to style her brown hair in soft waves that framed her face beautifully. As the day of the beach gathering approached, Lily's nervousness grew. What if they don't accept me? She confided in Margaret the night before. Margaret took Lily's hands in hers. Lily, my dear, you are loved. Your journey of self-discovery doesn't change that. Our family may need time to adjust, but they will see the beautiful, authentic person you are. And I'll be right by your side, every step of the way. The morning of the gathering arrived, bright and clear. Lily stood in front of the mirror in Margaret's guest room, barely recognizing the person staring back at her. The coral maxi dress flowed gracefully around her body, the wedge sandals adding a couple of inches to her height. Her brown hair fell in soft waves around her shoulders, and the light makeup enhanced her natural features. Margaret appeared in the doorway, beaming with pride. You look absolutely stunning, Lily. How do you feel? Lily took a deep breath, smoothing her hands over the dress. Nervous, excited, terrified, but also right, like I'm finally letting the world see who I truly am. That's because you are, Margaret said, squeezing Lily's shoulder gently. Remember, confidence is key. Stand tall, smile, and know that you are beautiful inside and out. They drove to the beach, Lily's heart pounding harder with each mile. As they pulled into the parking lot, she could see her family members already gathered on the sand, setting up umbrellas and coolers. Ready? Margaret asked, turning off the engine. Lily nodded, taking a deep breath. As I'll ever be. They stepped out of the car, the warm sand immediately filling Lily's sandals. She focused on her steps, remembering Margaret's lessons on walking gracefully. As they approached the group, conversation gradually died down as people noticed them. Lily's mother was the first to speak, her eyes wide with surprise. John, is that you? Lily swallowed hard, feeling Margaret's reassuring presence beside her. Actually, I go by Lily now. I'm exploring my gender identity, and this feels right to me. A moment of silence stretched out, feeling like an eternity. Then, Lily's father stepped forward, his expression a mixture of confusion and concern.
Lily,
he said, testing out the name.
This is unexpected. Are you sure about this?
Lily felt tears prickling at the corners of her eyes, but she stood tall, channeling the confidence Margaret had instilled in her. I am, Dad. I know it's a lot to take in, but this is who I am. I hope you can understand and support me. Her mother moved closer, reaching out to touch the fabric of Lily's dress.
You look beautiful, sweetheart. This is going to take some getting used to, but we love you no matter what.
Relief washed over Lily as her mother pulled her into a tight hug. As they separated, she noticed her cousins and other family members exchange glances, some curious, others supportive. Her younger cousin, Emily, bounced over excitedly. Lily! I love your dress! Can you show me how you did your hair? The tension broke as family members began to approach, some offering words of support, others simply treating Lily as they always had. There were a few awkward moments and confused looks, but overall, the acceptance was overwhelming. As the day progressed, Lily found herself relaxing more and more. She laughed with her cousins, helped set up the picnic, and even waded into the shallow water, feeling the waves lap at the hem of her dress. Margaret watched from under an umbrella, her heart swelling with pride as she saw Lily's confidence grow. She saw the way Lily's posture changed, how she gestured more freely, how her smile reached her eyes in a way it never had before. As the sun began to set, casting a golden glow over the beach, Lily made her way back to Margaret. She sat down on the sand beside her aunt, not worrying about keeping her knees together or her ankles crossed, but simply existing in the moment. Thank you, Lily said softly, leaning her head on Margaret's shoulder. For everything. I couldn't have done this without you. Margaret wrapped an arm around her niece, pulling her close. You had it in you all along, Lily. I just helped you find the courage to let it shine through. They sat in comfortable silence, watching the waves crash against the shore. Lily felt a profound sense of peace wash over her. She knew there would be challenges ahead, more explanations, potential misunderstandings, the ongoing journey of discovering herself. But in this moment, surrounded by the love and acceptance of her family, wearing a dress that made her feel truly herself, Lily knew she was on the right path. As the sky darkened and stars began to twinkle overhead, the family began packing up their beach gear. Lily helped fold blankets and collect scattered toys, marveling at how natural it felt to move in her dress and sandals now. Her Uncle David approached, a thoughtful expression on his face.
Lily,
he began, his voice gentle.
I just wanted to say, I'm proud of you. It takes a lot of courage to be true to yourself, especially when it means challenging people's expectations. If you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here.
Lily felt a lump form in her throat, touched by her uncle's words. Thank you, Uncle David. That means a lot to me. As they finished packing up, Lily's mother came over, wrapping an arm around her daughter's waist. Would you like to come over for breakfast tomorrow, sweetheart? We could talk more about everything. And maybe you could show me some of your new clothes? Lily nodded, feeling a surge of love for her mother. I'd like that, Mom. Thank you for being so understanding. The family said their goodbyes, with hugs and promises to get together soon. As Lily and Margaret walked back to the car, Lily couldn't help but feel a sense of accomplishment. She had faced one of her biggest fears and come out stronger on the other side. So, Margaret said, as they settled into the car, how do you feel after your big debut? Lily thought for a moment, a smile playing on her lips. Honestly, I feel free. Like I can finally breathe. There were moments of awkwardness, sure, but overall, it felt right. Like I was finally letting the world see the real me. Margaret reached over and squeezed Lily's hand. I'm so proud of you, Lily. This is just the beginning of your journey, but you've taken such a brave first step. As they drove home, Lily found herself reflecting on the day. She thought about the feeling of the sand between her toes, the swish of her dress in the ocean breeze, the way her family had rallied around her. There had been moments of discomfort. Yes, a few slip-ups with pronouns, some curious stares from strangers on the beach. But overall, the day had been more positive than she could have ever imagined. Back at Margaret's house, Lily carefully hung up her coral dress, running her fingers over the soft fabric. She changed into comfortable pajamas, but found herself missing the feel of the dress against her skin. Aunt Margaret? Lily called, padding into the living room where her aunt was reading. Can we talk for a bit? Margaret set down her book, patting the spot next to her on the couch. Of course, dear. What's on your mind? Lily settled onto the couch, tucking her legs underneath her. I want to thank you again. For everything. For accepting me without question. For guiding me. For being there today. I don't know if I could have done any of this without you. Margaret's eyes shimmered with unshed tears. Oh, Lily, you are so much stronger than you give yourself credit for. I have no doubt that you would have found your way eventually. I'm just grateful I could be here to support you. I've been thinking, Lily continued, twisting a strand of her brown hair around her finger. About next steps. I know this journey is far from over, and there's still so much I want to explore and understand about myself. Margaret nodded encouragingly. That's wonderful, Lily. Do you have any specific ideas in mind? Lily took a deep breath. I think I'd like to start seeing a gender therapist. Someone who can help me navigate these feelings and figure out what transitioning might look like for me. And maybe start looking into hormone therapy. I'm not sure if that's something I want yet, but I'd like to learn more. Those sound like very thoughtful, responsible steps, Margaret said, her voice full of support. I can help you research therapists in the area if you'd like, and I'm always here if you need someone to talk to or accompany you to appointments. Lily felt a wave of gratitude wash over her. Thank you, Aunt Margaret. I don't know what I'd do without you. They spent the next hour talking, with Lily sharing her hopes and fears for the future. Margaret listened attentively, offering advice when asked, but mostly just providing a supportive ear. As the night grew late, Lily yawned, the emotions and events of the day finally catching up with her. I should probably get some sleep. Mom wants me over for breakfast tomorrow. Margaret pulled her into a warm hug. Get some rest, dear. And remember, I'm so very proud of you. You've taken such a brave step today, and you handled it with grace and authenticity. Lily headed to bed, her mind swirling with thoughts of the day and plans for the future. As she drifted off to sleep, she felt a sense of peace she had never experienced before. For the first time in her life, she felt truly aligned with herself, excited for the journey ahead. The next morning, Lily stood in front of the mirror, carefully selecting her outfit for breakfast with her parents. She chose a soft, flowing blouse in a pale blue and paired it with comfortable jeans. As she applied a light touch of makeup, she marveled at how natural these actions already felt. Margaret drove her to her parents' house, giving her a reassuring squeeze before Lily got out of the car. Remember, you've got this. Just be your authentic self. Lily took a deep breath and walked to the front door. Before she could knock, It swung open, revealing her mother's smiling face. "Good morning, sweetheart. Come on in. Breakfast is almost ready." As Lily stepped inside, she was enveloped in the familiar sense of home. Coffee brewing, bacon sizzling, her mother's favorite vanilla-scented candle. Her father looked up from his newspaper, offering a slightly awkward but genuine smile.
"Morning, Lily. Sleep well?"
Lily felt a warmth spread through her chest at hearing her father use her chosen name. "I did. Thanks, Dad." They settled around the kitchen table, the initial awkwardness slowly melting away as they fell into familiar patterns of conversation. Lily's mother asked about the beach gathering, genuinely interested in hearing about Lily's experience.
"I have to say," her mother admitted, refilling Lily's coffee cup, "you looked so happy yesterday, more comfortable in your own skin than I think I've ever seen you."
Lily nodded, feeling tears prick at the corners of her eyes. "I felt happy, Mom. For the first time in a long time, I felt like I was truly being myself." Her father cleared his throat, clearly emotional but trying to hide it. "Lily, your mother and we want you to know that we love you, unconditionally. This is new territory for us, and we might make mistakes or say the wrong thing sometimes. But we're here for you, every step of the way." Lily felt a sob catch in her throat as she reached out to grasp both of her parents' hands. "Thank you," she managed to choke out. "Your support means everything to me." They spent the rest of the morning talking openly about Lily's journey, her plans for the future, and how they could best support her. Her mother excitedly asked to see some of Lily's new clothes, while her father listened attentively as Lily explained her desire to start therapy. As Lily prepared to leave, her heart full of love and gratitude, her mother pulled her into a tight hug. "You know," she whispered, "I always wanted a daughter. I just didn't realize I had one all along." Lily left her parents' house feeling lighter than air. As she walked back to Margaret's car, she felt as though she was stepping into a bright new chapter of her life, one filled with self-discovery, authenticity, and the unwavering support of her loved ones. The journey ahead would undoubtedly have its challenges, but Lily knew she was strong enough to face them. With each step, she was becoming more and more herself, and she couldn't wait to see who she would become.
Thanks for watching, my girlies! Be sure to check out Patreon for more!